show, full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. A little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, a live stream and podcast. How are you today? Good to see you. T-Duck, João Ernesto do Norte, an old guy in Europe, and Vicky Roberts. Vicky's here this morning. Look, bon dia from Viana do Castelo. Time for another beautiful day in Portugal. Yes, that's how we roll here. Coach Turner was in earlier on as well. Bon dia, Campos e Feliz Terça. Como está? Off to London this morning for lunch with my cousin. 30 other likely lads. It's become quite a tradition at this time of year. Lock up your daughters, and always great fun. Where are you off to? And what establishment can cope with 30 likely lads? You go to a Yates's Wine Lodge or a similar establishment to that. The old guy, bon dia, Gumpers, Feliz Terça, tudo bem. Feel free to answer, okay? Let's practice our Portuguese here. So feel free to answer and do shout from the rooftops and through the valleys. Bom dia, Portugal, as well, alongside João Ernesto there. T-Duck keeping abreast of what's going on with the chess. It's amazing. The prize money I discovered chatting with T-Duck this morning is 1.3 million if you're a top chess player. And I believe the two lads playing at the moment, what have we got? A Chinese guy and an Indian chap, 18 years old. Are they both 18? That's quite extraordinary. Currently 12 games. Didn't realize I was this interested in chess. After 12 games, it's tied 6-6. Each player has 2 wins. The rest of the games were drawn. Ooh, deadlock. Stalemate. 1 point for a win, half a point for a draw. And they're having a rest today, I believe, in Singapore. Good morning, Portugal, from Douglas Hughes, from an old guy who's not. That's a very catchy YouTube channel. An old guy who's not in Europe. Well, you are in Europe, really. You're just not in the EU anymore, Doug. And yeah, I think you wanted it that way, so no complaining. Bon dia, Gumpers. Another beautiful but cool morning in Miranda de Corvo. Thanks for joining us last night, Mike. Great fun with the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club last night. We've had a review in, and certain among us, I don't know if I should out you or not, but some of you were drinking 169. The basic idea was to drink a Portuguese wine that was €3 or less, and we thought they were fabulous. We were able, because we've done a lot of research, of course. This one, I think this person was waiting for the price drop from 199, which is far too expensive, to that 15% moment at 169. I was thoroughly enjoyed. And then I woke up this morning to this review of somebody who watched us last night. I think they're called JMC, who sometimes comments here, I believe. I'm not sure entirely if this is the same person, but we call it currant wine. Rubbish, really. But I'm particular in what wine is concerned. La-di-da. Try Quinta de Pancas, Cabeça de Toro, the bull's head, right? Herda de Esparral. Yes, that's a nice one. I've tried that one. You'll be surprised. Beware, bottle prices may rise to thousands, some even hundreds of thousands. Green wine is appreciated for its bitter tang and sweet aftertaste. Balance is key, isn't it, always in life? More frequent to find it up north. Alentejo's, who doesn't like it up north first thing in the morning? Alentejo's wines have great body and spirit. Their traditions in winemaking are somewhat different. Note that not all that use Reserva are actually a reserved wine. You guys had me cracking up. Well, I'm glad we were some assistance to you, and we will be back again in the new year. It was basically our Christmas party last night, and a great time was had by all. We'll open another window on the Advent calendar in just a moment, because I think Mamabear McGowan, who joins me in just a moment, will appreciate this one, because she might be in the north of the UK herself this morning. And, of course, it's Gilda's birthday. Gilda Pereira of Assessoria Migrante. Is that Migratory? Assessoria Migratory. You'd think I'd know that by now. It's her birthday today. So I've got the lyrics ready, actually. Let's sing her a happy birthday, because she knows if you're not singing, she will know. And she also knows if you've offered to buy her lunch a bottle of wine or gin back in the day when you were all heady and glad about moving to Portugal. If you didn't fulfill on that, she's got it written down somewhere. It's not too late to bike it over to the office today. I think she's working and she's joining us as the beginning of her birthday celebrations. Isn't that wonderful? So we'll talk to her around 1:30. Let's give Mamabear a round of applause now. A hand of applause. Hola, bon dia, Mamabear McGowan. How are you? The creative the creative roots are in UK, right?
Yeah. Well, Creative Roots Portugal in the Castelo Branco.
Are you on tour though? Are you taking those creative roots to the UK?
I am here in the UK and just getting some stuff done and seeing the fam, it being Christmas and all. So
how lovely. How lovely.
Natal and boas festas.
Thank you very much. Igualmente, boas festas, Feliz Natal. We'll talk about that because it is an interesting time of year, isn't it? And I imagine it brings up all sorts of things that you, as the head honcho, the driving force of Care and Share Portugal, will be attending to. People who are not maybe following the strict pattern routine of Christmas might find themselves a little bit off colour or having some needing some extra input. I'll put it like that. Would you agree? As much as this is an enjoyable time of year, it can bring up other stuff for people as well, can't it?
Yeah, it certainly can. It's a time of year when it's distance feels longer. It feels, we can feel closer or too close or way further away than we want to be.
That's interesting. Like an amplifier, yes.
Yeah. We can feel overwhelmed by the people and places and the things we have to do, but we can also feel so far away that we feel lonely and like we're missing our family.
Yes.
So good time to think about, Christmas it's a whole season. Do you know what I mean? It's not just today, like a couple of days. Good excuse, because the true meaning of Christmas is to
cliffhanger
instead of presents.
Hold on, you disappeared for a moment.
Yeah, so we want to be there.
You said the true meaning of Christmas is, and then
so it's about. Oh,
go on, try that again.
It's to give presents. We're giving presents instead of presents.
I see. Isn't it just easier though to nip to the petrol station on Christmas Eve, buy something, and say there you go, and not and then still look into your phone instead?
Yeah, it certainly is easier, but it's missing the point a lot.
So how would we do that?
Taking time to go and have a cup of tea with someone, go see someone, have a cup of tea, sit down and give them 5-10 minutes of your day. Just checking in. Does someone need an extra babysitter while they get stuff done? Does anyone need a hand with watching the dogs while someone else goes wherever? Just see how we can come together and help each other out and share the love, because it's sharing is caring. I mean, share and care is there for people to connect with online on Facebook. We'll have more things happening in person in the next year, which is what you were saying about what have we got coming up. And in the next year, we're going to be having like a space for meets and greets at Creative Roots Portugal. But for now, it's getting through the season, getting through the Christmas and New Year for many is an incredibly difficult time.
And will being aware. Available? Sorry, we got a massive delay on the line this morning. But will Share and Care be available to people over Christmas if they do find themselves in need of a little bit of support?
Absolutely. Keep an eye open on the page, because there'll be options for just dropping in at my place in Castelo Branco, and we can certainly go live and do a live and all just meet and have cups of tea and, online or offline. My place is always available for people to come on in and just have a chat, or online again as well. Don't be alone, and there's no shame in it. Come on, reach out and let us drink tea together. you
What a
know,
lovely,
or
what a lovely
just,
offer.
yeah. So we'll probably do something in between the 21st and 25th, and we're looking at having a kind of get together on the 25th. But it's still in the air regards timings and things and people, but it's just a chance for us all to just drop in and out, you know.
It's a lovely offer. That is a lovely offer because, like Christmas, that was a really interesting point. Actually, Christmas is an amplifier, isn't it? It amplifies how close we can be to people and how far apart we can be. And I think being a foreigner, an expat in a new country, or even if you've been here for a little while, that's also an amplifier, isn't it? So if you're alone and in a foreign country, here is a lifeline for you during the Christmas period. When it sometimes seems, and I've had Christmases like this where you suddenly realize that you're on your own, and oh, this is quite odd. I wasn't expecting this, and you can find yourself in that predicament. And here is a lifeline if you want it, and that is the Facebook group of Share and Care Portugal. How's it been this year? We'll look a bit more forward in a moment, but how's it been for Share and Care? Would you say this year for 2024, Em?
The whole year has been incredibly slow and incredibly quiet. And there's people out there that need help and support with the grief, and we're not getting very far. We're there, but we don't communicate. And there's a lot of things gone on, but there's what, 500, 550 members, and only me that posts.
Yes,
And
often the way when you run a Facebook group.
And when we have questions, there's no one really replying. There was someone who mentioned the other day asking for, is there any grief groups about? And we indeed remember starting a group where we were like, yeah, everyone can come, and we're online, so accessible to everyone. And It was just us, wasn't it? We just sat and enjoyed our company.
Yes, we did.
So there's people out there trying, but you have to, when we're giving the gift of presents and you all want presents, you need to come and receive and be open to receiving.
Yes.
And the hardest bit's the first go, you know. So in the new year, we'll be starting things and looking at finding more ways of being about for all of us.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, because I'm looking, you know, this is a public group. I won't mention the person's name, but just to illustrate the point you're making, it is a public group. This is a public post, and there's somebody on there. I lost my wife a year ago. I'm stuck in a loop of procrastination and depression. Is there an active English group in Portugal? So yes, you reached out, didn't you? And you're there to help. And it's an interesting point you make. I mean, that's just human nature in a way, isn't it? Is to want help, but then when it comes to not quite know what to do. This is the first time for many people they'll have been in this situation, and they don't quite know how to respond to it, even if the help might be there.
Yeah, they don't like to ask. They feel there's something within them that stops them reaching out and accepting the help. They feel maybe cheeky, you know, maybe we should charge for it just to make people come, because giving them a free service, they don't come in. It's like, maybe it's because there's no fee, you know, maybe we should say do it for a donation or something. Yeah. But I wanted to make sure people know it's fully accessible for everyone. It's just there. We give advice on funerals, we give advice on grief, we give counselling for grieving, we offer presents, I answer messages, those that I support who have lost and those I support who have got things like that. Very much just at the end of the phone. I'm only ever a message away. So it doesn't cost anything. You can just message and take my number and we can just connect whenever. I had a lady contact me from New Zealand and say, my friend would like to connect. I was like, okay, here's all my details. And her friend still hasn't connected. And it's like people want to help the person, but unless you make the step to accept the help yourself, and let's face it, we're all in it. We all face living and dying. It's a part of life. We're all going to die, so we have that in common, and that's a really good ground to start with. We're not morbid folks. Anyone who's been watching me and Carl for this last year or so, well, it's 2 years, 3 years, isn't it? We've been doing this.
Possibly, yeah.
And talking about living and dying consciously. So being aware that we're here, and it's never dull, is it? We always find something to laugh about, and always respectful, and it's always good fun.
Yes.
So death isn't it isn't like a horror movie or something. It's something to be acknowledged, to be celebrated. It's not long past the Day of the Dead. In different cultures, they have a much different way of doing things, where things are celebrated and acknowledged. And to move back to the time where we can acknowledge death and accept it as a part of life, it allows us to acknowledge those who, acknowledge our memories and our feelings, because feeling is healing, and healing is important as part of the grief process.
Well done for continuing to sound that note, and that's what you do, isn't it? You remain there despite the perhaps that people's unwillingness or difficulty, awkwardness around it. You remain there, and I take my hat off to you for that, Em. Thank you for doing that. Those are the details for getting in touch with Sharing Care. If you need some support from now onwards, and especially into the Christmas period and into the new year. Turbulent and interesting times on the planet, of course, as well, which can bring another possible need to reach out and chat with people and talk about what you're going through. And of course, you're there for people in that regard as well. Wonderful offer then for Christmas, and you want to do more in-person meetups for the new year. You're inviting people over to Creative Roots. Any other plans for 2025? What about for you?
Well, Creative Roots Portugal is pretty much my legacy project. It's something that I'm creating to serve community. It gives people a space to be. There's someone there at the moment. I may be here, but Creative Roots Portugal has offered someone sanctuary for the coming days, and they're going to be there as long as they need to be, to just breathe and feel into themselves again, because sometimes in life we just need space.
Yes.
And this is what Creative Roots is about. It's about finding a way to be with ourselves and offer ourselves presence, and to also to find a way to breathe again and allow ourselves to rest, and the importance of rest. So there'll be all sorts of things available. I'll be able to finally offer more art therapy in person all year round, and the different therapy sessions that help deal with grief. Grief being, as a reminder to folk, it's the loss of something familiar to you. You didn't have to like it, and you can still grieve it. So it could be a change in circumstances. It could be your health. Your health may have changed. You may be grieving the life you used to have. And that is why you're there. You don't have to die or have someone die to be grieving. Everyone on earth is still grieving.
That's a very interesting point. And you often do this. You bring something a little bit extra each time we talk. And I want to pick up on that, about how you actually don't even have to like it to feel the loss of something. But I also wanted to report to you that since we did, I think, the pause practice, perhaps 2 months ago now, I've been continuing to do that pretty much at midday every day. So on my Facebook timeline, if you want a moment to breathe, I do that as a live stream. Come and join me at midday, most days, or around that time. And if I don't do it then, for whatever reason, I tend to do it later on in the day. So that's there as well. If anyone fancies a breather and coming into the present moment, join me at around midday each day. And I take the cue from the local Bombeiros siren. I know it's not an emergency if it's midday, and that's the call to calm. So that's what we do at midday. But that's very interesting. A new definition of grief, possibly there, or an expanded one, as far as I'm aware, is that we tend to think we're losing something we love or like, and that's what hurts. But actually, it can be like we've experienced in the last few years, perhaps a change of the world that we didn't actually like, especially, but what we were familiar with.
Yeah, we were grieving. I mean, we've got to face the facts that if we're complaining about something, we're complaining about it based on our memories of what we've experienced or heard in the past.
Well,
So it's not something that we've got any guarantees of happening in the future. And metaphysics, simple metaphysics says what you put your energy into makes it manifest. So when we complain, we get more to complain about.
Yes.
Therefore, we need to be rather mindful of why we're putting our energy, because we don't want to create more things that make us feel down, do we? We want to feel, it's not about toxic positivity. It's not about pushing things to be different than they are, but acceptance that in this moment, right now, in this moment, all our needs are met. And they are. You know, and opportunities for all of us, but coming back to this moment, all our needs are met.
Yes. Yeah. So true and worth remembering. And that's what I try and do at around midday each day. So join me for some of that. Absolutely brilliant. Anything else you want to share about the new year and what you might need, what the project might need as we go into a new year?
Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, well, we've got some things up and coming and sorting out. So I love to reuse and repurpose, recycle anything that they don't want anymore, any paving slabs or well, anything. Just give us a shout. Any old windows, any old doors, because Creative Roots is having a bit of building done at the present. I'm not going to say too much because I'm not going to give it away, but basically you're going to end up with a wellbeing retreat centre at Creative Roots Portugal, where you can be at all times and it will be really comfortable. But to make this happen, we need to the finishing touches, so like insulation and the things that people do have just lay about. Maybe you've got a bit of insulation left, or you've shared your sheep and you've got a load of sheep wool. And some people, sorry, go on.
Like you do. Sorry, go on.
Or bits of cork and things like that would just be ideal for what we're creating. So just drop us a message, and if you're in the Castelo Branco region, I'll be able to come over and pick it up, pick up whatever.
Because you're back on the road. Excellent. All right, that's fantastic. So if you do have any building materials, bits and pieces that can be recycled, repurposed, reused, is your woman on that. Right. I don't know what your Welsh is like, and will you join me in opening another window on the Good Morning Portugal GMP Advent calendar for this year?
Yes, certainly.
Well, first of all, I'm going to test your Welsh. Good morning to Peder, who's here this morning. Bon dia, Portugal. Bore da of Cymru this morning. I think that went fairly well so far. And then Doug the two Welshmen in the chat are sounding like they're having a scrap. Bore da with your pera aplon and bleu with tibora ma Peder. Oh, that went into Scottish then, didn't it? Sorry about that. Okay. Sidreli Sergei Friedin Douglas. I don't know what's happening now, but I think Joao Ernesto's analysis is pretty good. Peder and Dougie indulging in Elvish from Middle Earth. Cheers to all the Cymru there. And so happy to know things are moving forward, says James as well. Morning to you, Antonio. Thank you for being here. Mike and Karen, of course. And Vicky, I will pass on your greetings to Gilda when we see her in about 5 minutes' time. But before we go there, okay, let's have a look at the Advent calendar as it stands. Do you like an Advent calendar, Em?
I do.
Okay. Mrs. Emma's got one here. You might like this one. Guess what's in this advent calendar here?
Oh.
And I wonder if I open it. She'll kill me if I open it. Yeah, what would you say?
Well, chocolate, isn't it, usually?
No. If you open this up and pop one of these in your mouth and bite down hard, you might find yourself in a lot of trouble. Go on, another guess.
It sounds exciting, but I've no idea what's in there.
Crystals. It's a crystal calendar.
Oh, wow. How fantastic. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to know the symbolism of today's crystal.
I can't open it, though. I mean, Em said I should open it. No, and I'm going to...
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think you should do the grand unveiling and tell her to not watch the show and just be very careful and put the door back. Just pat it back down so she doesn't know we've opened it.
Or go down the pub. Yes. Okay. Sounded like a Cardiff accent to me, boy. Oh, I did my best there. Is speaking loudly and aggressively a requirement for Welsh? Oh, yes, definitely. Absolutely. What am I trying? I don't know. What? I don't know what I was trying to say. I was just reading out the hieroglyphics that were on the screen there. Right. The advent calendar. Here we go. This is Good Morning Portugal Advent Calendar. Instead of a lot of videos from around the country, which we're happy to receive and incorporate into our opening sequence until Christmas on 913-590-303, you'll see a few familiar faces there. People from the memes of the last. How long have memes been around? Something. Anyway, we are in today. Where are we? Look, we've gone past Bailey's on our breakfast cereal there. And we had a traditional Portuguese Christmas tree made entirely of wine bottles. It is the 10th, and I'm about to publish today's, which you might appreciate. Are you in the north of England at the moment? There,
Northwest, yeah.
Northwest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you'll know the town as and when I refresh the page here. I will refresh the advent calendar and not the show, which is what I did yesterday. Let's have a look. Right, and I'm going to scroll down. Did this work? I wonder. Let's have a little scroll down. Oh, no, scroll up. Yes, there we go. Number 10. Welcome. Do you want to welcome to the Berry Santa experience? Blimey, I didn't even know he'd been unwell. Now, could you explain this to us?
Say that again. Can you not make it bigger?
I will. Okay, let me bring it onto the screen so you can see.
Berry.
Thanks.
Berries up the road.
It is. That's right. There you go. How about that?
Yeah. Welcome to the Berry Santa experience. You've got a lot of doors there, haven't you?
I think it's Santa's grotto. Now we need to explain to people watching, as they do on the late shift. I mean, if you're in the United States, this joke may go straight over your head, as possibly quite a lot of British humour might do. But we're here to explain it. We're here to help, and we actually have a helpline. If there's a British joke you hear and you don't understand it, just send it to 913-590-303, and one of our trained team of humour counsellors will get back to you and walk you through it. This one is a particularly difficult one. Why is this? Well, I was going to ask you, why is it funny? You actually didn't laugh, Em. Welcome to the Berry.
I'm on the spectrum, so some things like everyone else is laughing, and I'm going, what?
This has gone down really badly this morning, then. Okay.
Yeah, I did think of black pudding. That's me.
Oh, that's gone off on another tangent. You're seeing that picture, and you're thinking of black pudding.
Yeah. I see the word berry and think of black pudding. Berry black pudding's amazing.
The key, and very seasonal, no doubt. The key to this joke, if we can call it that, which I suppose is defined by people laughing, which is not happening as we speak. Bury is a place in the northwest of England. I'm explaining it to the M as well here. So, welcome to the Berry Santa.
So, is it Berry Santa?
Yes, I didn't even know he'd been unwell. Okay, I'm going to leave. All right. I'm
guess.
Just... yeah, great. Thank you very much. There you go. It is. Please send more memes. 913-590-303. This was a lovely picture that I saw, and we got it captioned. This looks like an old lady in Castella Branco, possibly. Isn't that a beautiful picture, Em?
Oh, yeah.
and some cheeky rascal has put decree law broken. There was the aguardente caseira, the homemade brandy, basically, but she looks very happy on it. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you to the rascal behind that one there. Right, thank you so much for a wonderful year of your support, Share and Care Portugal, of course. Let me just make sure that's back in the chat. Not bad, but you still have to do a little work. That's my accent. Probably he hasn't commented on the humour yet with that meme. But let's go back to the link to Facebook and the Share and Care group there. If you need any support at all, as Em said, between now and the new year to get you through the festive perineum, that darkest point between Christmas and New Year, she's there. Only a phone call or a message away. And anything else you would, another message you want to share whilst we wish you a very happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year, Em?
Yeah, well, we're not going to be with each other now until the new year, and then we'll have missed the 1st of January. And it's a good chance to revise and review and revisit life and what you've been up to. So my invitation for you all is to revise how things have been done and maybe have a review. So revisit the fact that up to now, people are not utilising what's available for them so that they can access support and connection and networking. And as interdependent beings, we need each other, you know? So please contemplate just posting a meme or something or an acknowledgement of feelings or something in Share and Care or join Share and Care, and reach out and maybe ask for help. Or even if you don't want to ask for help, just say, hi, I'm just feeling a bit, I just thought I'd send you a message and say hi and like to check in from time to time. You're very welcome. You are very, very welcome.
Thank you, Em. Jackie's message here. Thank you, Em. Just joined, and what an amazing idea for a group you'd love. So expect to see Jackie on there and doing exactly what you just said. And the other 500 plus members, how about it? If you are one of those members, jump in. And it's funny, isn't it? When you run a Facebook group, you're often the only person posting, and we know that people are watching, they're consuming, but it's lovely when people tread over that line and share something as well. Have a lovely Christmas. Are you celebrating in the UK?
Nope, I shall be home in a few days. I've come over, I'm going to see my nan, I'm with my aunt, I'm going to see my mum, and then I'm going to be home for Christmas, and I'm going to be very busy with my project. So any time from weekend onwards, if anyone's got any like building construction materials that they don't want that you would like to gift to the Creative Roots project, then come on, give us a shout and I'll come and pick them up. Marvelous. I'll be driving through Lisbon on the 13th. I'll be driving through Lisbon over to, is it Caxieiras? Something like that, near George and Annie, and then and past Tomar and off up to Castelo Branco. So if anyone's on that route, I can always drop by and pick things up as well.
Caxieiras is where you're headed. Yes, give them my love when you see them, please. A big old Boas Festas, Feliz Natal to you, and we'll see you next year.
Boas Festas, Feliz Natal.
Ciao, ciao. There she goes. That's celebrating in the UK at the moment. And then, if you've got any building materials, if you've got any sort of contribution to give to the wonderful Creative Roots project in Central Portugal, go ahead and do that. And well done, Jackie, on joining the group there. You never know when you might need it, and step into that space and get some support or offer some support to other people. Now, we've got Gilda about to join us. Look, it's her birthday today, and whether she likes it or not, we are going to be singing happy birthday in Portuguese to her. The lyrics will be on the screen, and we'll take it nice and slow, and we'll be practicing our Portuguese and singing happy birthday to her in Portuguese. Now, I'll do probably a little ticker tape banner so you can read the lyrics as they're coming past, and you can do it in a karaoke style. And we'll have a little bit of fun this morning. But we can't welcome her onto the screen, obviously, until we've played her Walk On music, which is going to get the party started right now. birthday already?
No, I thought you were going to sing me happy birthday in Portuguese. I was trying to catch the moment.
Not yet, not yet. No, not going to. No. We need to work our way up to that. We need to make sure everybody can familiarize themselves with the lyrics first of all. How are you today? And parabéns a você.
Obrigada.
De nada. Okay, I'm actually. So, what have you got planned apart from giving us the great honor and privilege of starting the day with us on Good Morning Portugal? What else have you got planned on your special day?
Well, I'm going to the beauty salon.
Of course, you don't need to do that, but I'm sure you'll have a nice time there.
Yeah, and then I'm going to the office.
Yep.
Not because I plan to work today, but I go there to collect my gifts.
Of course, yes.
And because of the birthday cake.
Yeah.
And then I will have dinner in a restaurant with my family in Lisbon.
How lovely.
And we are planning to go and see the Christmas lights.
Oh, what a one! And is this traditional? Is that what you normally do? Is there a bit of a pattern to that?
Yeah, it's not every year, but this year I decided to do it.
Very good, very good. Okay, that's wonderful.
Although the kids are not kids anymore, and they found it a little bit boring this year.
Yeah,
but I like the lights anyway.
Do we have to? You're going to Lisbon town to see the lights? Are you the main lights? Praça do Comércio.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. So how have you encouraged the kids to join in on that and not just be grumpy about it?
I said it's my birthday. Let's do what I want to do.
Okay, that should be enough, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So before we talk more about your birthday and celebrate with you here on the Good Morning Portugal show, what's going on in the world of migration? Do you want to talk about that today, or are you just definitely not working and don't want to talk about that?
Oh, the world of migration is more or less the same. Now I've been asking lots of questions about Americans moving to Portugal because of the elections. I was on TV this weekend.
Well, you're on TV now, but yeah, I get it. What happened?
No, because I was in the news at 8 p.m.
Really? That's prime time, isn't it? Tell us more about that.
It's prime time. Yeah.
What's happening there? Well, why wasn't I invited, as you might say?
Because I didn't even know. People just when they didn't. The internet is okay.
Yeah. You're blurred a little bit, but the sound is coming through nicely. But it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. They did me an interview on Friday, and I didn't know when it was going to be on TV. Yeah. They said that they would let me know, but they didn't. So it was on Sunday. Okay.
And what did they ask you, and what did you say?
They asked me if the number of Americans coming to Portugal had increased.
Right. I think we can safely say yes.
Yes, but I wanted to say not yet because the visa takes about 3 months.
Oh, very good. You slipped in a little political pushback there. Very good.
But I said, yeah, I think because they have made more consultations, so maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I was watching a really good video this morning. Dave in Portugal. He's a prolific YouTube filmmaker. And occasionally he really annoys me, and I guess that's what you would expect from any YouTuber, an influencer. They got to get under your skin from time to time, and it makes you watch them and come back to what they're saying. And he was talking about are Americans returning to Europe, and I'd never seen it in quite that way. And then I don't want to. No, maybe I shouldn't do a spoiler on that, but that's his main question, I think. Are Americans returning to Europe? How would you respond to that particular question? Do you think there's of course, because Americans came from Europe, didn't they, as we know it, and in historical terms, and he thinks there might be a return of those who left Europe to go to America coming back to the continent. Can you see that? Have you ever thought about it like that before?
I never thought it about like that before, but what I see is that lots of Americans are coming to the UK, which is a bad choice, to Spain, which is another bad choice.
Notwithstanding their terrible choices.
And even to France, And of course, Portugal, which
Yeah.
is the choice of all, as we know.
Yeah. Goes without
So
saying.
yes, maybe there is some truth in that.
Isn't that a funny thing to think of? I'd never thought about it in that way, because we think about Portugal, don't we, rather than Europe as a whole. And clearly you're in touch with presumably other migration specialists around the continent, and you'll see that picture in a clearer way than we might do. So there you go, Dave in Portugal's new video. Did you want to say more about that?
And in Italy is also one of the top countries.
Yeah, very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. So
until they realize there is only pasta and pizza, and then they get fed and they want to move.
And then they ask for pineapple on the pizza, and it all hell breaks out. They snap spaghetti in front of Italian people, and it all goes horribly wrong. We would never behave like that here in Portugal. So check it out. The water's lovely. Right, the lyrics are there, Gilda. It'll just be me singing to you, which might be a bit odd, but if you could imagine the choir of gumpers all around the country, maybe some of them in the United States if they're up really late as well, singing to you. I imagine this is going to be happening to you in the office as well. This is lovely. I do love the Portuguese version of Happy Birthday to You. Before I go into it, because I just need to do a bit of a vocal warm up. Ha 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 ha. Me 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 me. La 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 la. I think I'm nearly ready. What normally happens to a Portuguese person when they go into work on their birthday? What's traditional?
Everybody gives you lots of kisses and hugs and birthday wishes, and sometimes flowers, chocolates, and other presents, and always a cake, of course.
Always a cake. All right. Well, okay. I mean, for some of us where we're from, we don't even mention it for fear of, I don't know. What? I'm not sure, actually. I don't know why I said that, but that maybe gives you a little. But
you know that on A we have this big board where we have everyone's birthday. Okay.
You do? Yeah.
Yeah, and because I'm such a nice boss, I always give the birthday. How should I say? The birthday off. They don't need to work on their birthday.
Is that right? So okay, well, that's a bit of a difficulty. Can they come in, get all the kisses and hugs and cake, and then go home?
Usually they don't do that. What they do is that on the next day they go and we do the party.
Cool. Okay, that's another good reason to move to Portugal and get a job. When you move
just
over.
Make sure you find a boss as nice as I am.
Obviously, yes. Okay, right. Let's read out your birthday.
Just before we keep going, this is my sense of humor. I'm not that narcissist. Okay. It's just a sense of humor. No, it's because sometimes people watch me thinking and they might say, "Oh, here is she again, like she's the best." Blah blah blah. No, this is me and my sense of humor.
Thank you for clearing that up. I didn't think that for a moment. Okay, but yes, very, very good self-reflection there, because there's a fine line, isn't there, that can be stepped over and appearing to be a psychopathic narcissist.
Yeah.
Rather than just having a little bit of a joke. Parabens Gilda from James, who's first into. Oh no, actually he wasn't first in. We've got. Vicky, look, Vicky Roberts, mais feliz dos aniversarios, Gilda, from Vicky Roberts, who's up in Castelo, not Castelo Branco, not Castelo David, Viana de Castelo, okay, up there in the north. Who else are sending greetings? T-Duck! Hi, Gilda, happy birthday to you. A couple of ducks.
Thank you, everyone.
Dois patos there. Feliz aniversario, Gilda, from Antonio F. JMC, look at this, a bit of Portuguese astrology.
Yes, JMC knows. Sagittarians are the best.
JMC, was it you who was putting down our appreciation of Portuguese wines that were €3 or less last night, telling us that they were actually rubbish? You need to come on to the Gilda, please. Yes, he did say that. We did our wine club last night, and the theme was great Portuguese wine for €3 or less. And he had a special name for them, actually. Let me just go. If it's the same person, and sorry if it's not, but if you call them current wines, rubbish, really. That's not true, is it, Gilda? You might be having one or two of those yourself today. Okay. JMC, you are in a lot of trouble. And that is not Gilda's sense of humor. You are officially in a lot of trouble, my friend. Os Sagittario são os melhores. So the Sagittarians are the best. And we do seem to know a lot who are quite happy and openly celebrating their birthdays as they should at the moment. Okay, in Welsh, pen blydd hapus Gilda. So should
this is in
Welsh.
Welsh,
It
right?
is. Middle Earth, yes. Think Lord of the Rings. Unless you drink all the wine, that's the reason for another revolution. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean there, Jamesy. Right, good morning, everyone, as well from Gemini, who's just stepped in. And Mr. S wants to wish you a happy birthday. Parabéns a você nesta data querida. So we're up and running with the lyrics there. Get ready, everybody. Gargle your honey or whatever else, or a cheap glass of wine. And sing together with me now to be the first to wish Gilda a happy birthday here. Do Portuguese people sing to themselves or not? Or do they just stand there and soak it up?
No, we sing. I sing to myself.
Okay, here we go then.
Okay. Você nesta
data querida, muitas felicidades, muitos anos de vida. Hoje é dia da festa, cantam as nossas almas para a minha Gilda. Uma salva de palmas, tenha tudo de bom, de que a vida contém. Tenha muita saúde e amigos também.
Oh, wonderful!
Read that. I'll send you a little clip of that if you need to.
Send me. Send me.
Or at some other point. Well, Gilda, thank you very much indeed for being with us. I imagine you want to go off and celebrate your birthday, be with your family, and thank you for being with us, your other family. So from Good Morning Portugal, from Expats Portugal.
Are you sending me away? I thought I would spend more minutes.
You can stay here by all means. You're very welcome to, but I just thought you'd want to rush off and celebrate your birthday. What else do you want to tell us?
Well, I want to tell you that I'm very.
You've got a speech, haven't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because I've been putting a lot of thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
I've just turned 44.
Oh wow! I'd never have guessed. Yeah.
Thank you. I agree with you, by the way. And if everything goes well, which I hope it does, I'm thinking that maybe this is half of my life.
Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yes.
Right, okay. And quite Portuguese, if I may say so. Not afraid to embrace the dark side.
Yes, because maybe there isn't a dark side.
No, it's what Em was saying, isn't it? Life and death, they are integral. They're integrally linked.
I didn't see what she was. I didn't hear what she was saying. But the thing is, I'm not talking about dying. I'm talking about being alive.
Yes.
And yes, 88, getting to 88 with health, energy, and trying to bring my best to the world.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And what here you stand at the middle point as you see it, surveying the future and reflecting on the past.
Yes, and I think that at 44 I achieved so many things.
You did.
And I have so many people in my life that really like me. And by the way, I got happy birthday from many clients.
I'm sure.
At midnight. Yeah, they were like waiting, hanging on at midnight.
Because we told them off, didn't we, on the Dream Team?
Yes, and they behaved really well.
They did that, yeah.
They did, or they were afraid. I don't know.
Right.
But yes, I feel really happy, and I want to celebrate this day. Actually, I think I'm going to celebrate the whole week. Because I'm going to be with different people in different events, and yes, it's going to be. I think I will celebrate until Sunday.
Yep, very good, excellent. I thoroughly approve of that. 44, you're just a youth, says JMC. We're liking JMC a lot. It's good fun. Nubia Net is here, who stayed up, I think, to wish you a happy birthday, Sagittarian twin. Is it your birthday actually today, Nubia Net? Well, parabéns a você também as well, if that's the case. T-Duck has a message for you, who met you when you were in your 30s. by the look of it. Gilda, I want to say thank you again for everything EIA did for us. We first met you 4.5 years ago in a video chat. Now here we are still living in the same apartment that Carla helped us find. Isn't that lovely? So happy birthday from T-Duck there.
I hope you're still very happy to be here.
Absolutely. I'm shooting for 100 healthy, happy years. And since I'm actively living in the we'll see. Okay, so given that you mention it, that you might be at this halfway point, and perhaps you may well, and hopefully you do live longer than that even. And you put an emphasis, didn't you, on healthy years, because that's what we're concerned with now, and that's what the God Squad tips of the day are about. It's not just the number of years, but the quality of those years as well. As you said, you've achieved a lot in 44 years, Gilda. What would you like to do? And how can we help in these next 44 years? What are your plans for world domination?
I have so many plans, Carl.
Go on. So we've only got 8 minutes now.
Okay. First of all, you are not going to believe this.
Right. That's always a good start. That's always a good start, isn't it?
I start doing exercise.
No way.
Yeah.
Why? What happened? Did you have to run for the bus?
We've been waiting for this moment since we met, Carl. This is very important.
I am glad I'm sitting down, quite frankly. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'd have dropped to the floor.
With this thing that I'm in the middle of my life, maybe, and I want to live longer and healthier, I decided, no, that's it.
It stops here.
That's it. I'm going to start doing exercise.
Wow, okay.
And I did.
Not just me. James as well just fell out my seat. Okay, so what did you do? You've joined a gym. First bit of exercise.
No, much better than that.
Really?
I have a personal trainer.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Okay.
And I have a Russian personal trainer.
Hardcore, yes.
And she's very hard on me.
I bet.
She's like, push, one more.
Give me more.
Stretch. I feel that I'm getting ready to the army, you know?
Yes. Yeah, well, maybe that's maybe that's her hidden agenda. I'm going to offer you a job at the end of it. Right.
No,
so what's
really.
What's she making you do? What's she making you do?
Oh, you wouldn't know things that I would never imagine I would do.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it seems like I was not in such a bad shape that I thought I was.
That's psychological, though. They always tell you that. They always, because that's
really,
it's a tough journey at the beginning, and they're like, "Oh, you're doing ever so well, and you're much fitter than you thought." It's like when you're learning Portuguese, people tell you that as well, don't they? You know so much more than you think you do. Keep going. Well done.
Thank you for ruining that moment.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No, I'm sure she's right. I'm sure she's right as well. So, for example, what has she got you doing? Because we can look at our we can do our gods. Given that you're a fitness fanatic now. Let's have a look at this. God's God tip of the day. Then I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with stretching. Have you been doing any stretching with Olga? Let's call her Olga for the sake of anonymity. With stretching, and only really do it after training when I'm fully warmed up. But others swear by it. I will admit that sometimes, look, you can impress your trainer with your knowledge of stretching now, courtesy of Coach Turner. I feel some tightness in particular muscles. I will try to ease it by stretching. Anyway. Here's an exercise, Gilda. I think maybe you should turn up for your next session doing this, and that will go down really well with the trainer. Here's the exercise. It will help stretch and strengthen the muscles in your upper back. You'll need a chair. This is easy. You'll need a chair with lowish back facing away from you. Kneel down behind it with your knees about 3 feet from the chair. I'm guessing this chair should not have wheels on it, because that could go horribly wrong. Kneel down behind it with your knees about 3 feet from the chair. Rest your wrists on the chair back. Gradually allow your head. Yeah, it shouldn't have wheels on it. You can allow your head and back to lower down as far as you can and hold for 20 to 30 seconds. I think we need a video, don't we? Repeat 3 times with a minute rest between each stretch. If you do that 3 to 4 times a week, you'll find your neck and shoulders will feel more relaxed and flexible, especially if you work at a computer all day. Well, how about when you get into the office, you get everyone standing up and doing that? You could really throw them, couldn't you, with that? It's like they're all expecting.
Yes, but please send me a video explaining that so I can put this in practice. But you know what? The most wonderful thing is that I get these trainings by the beach.
Right? Do you? Okay, that's no way to speak about your trainer. Oh, I see. I beg your pardon. By the the beach. Okay, fair enough. I hope she's not watching.
Did I pronounce this wrongly?
It does happen sometimes because we're chatting with our Portuguese friends and they will suddenly shout out beach.
The beach.
Yeah, the beach, and you're thinking, what's just happened in here? And then you realize,
no, it's like looking at the sea. She's very nice. Do the exercises, looking at the sea. Sometimes we go to the sand with our map and with our mat. And it's very nice. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Okay, very good. The ideas are flooding in, kind of literally here. Vera Lockie says, fabulous, Gilda. I think probably, your birthday, you're looking fabulous. And maybe that news about getting a personal trainer as well. How popular are pool workouts? Have you considered that as part of your routine?
What is that? In swimming pools?
I think it probably is, isn't it? And that's quite good for people with a little bit of restricted mobility, which
not for me. It's too much thing, putting the swimming suit and then the thing in the head and then going to the water and then I don't. Not for me.
That's right. And Portuguese people will probably not go to the pool in winter. It's very cold at this time of year. If you're Portuguese, probably wait for the summer for that as well, Catherine. Unlike the Northern Europeans, of course. Gilda, you can never go wrong with a beach workout. Awesome.
Thank you.
One of my all-time favorite stretches is on knees and elbows with hands together like praying. Simply slowly sit back, keeping your elbows together. Okay, feels great. People are really getting behind you with this. They're not necessarily doing any exercise, but they're definitely getting behind you. Another option here is to bend the elbow, sip the beer, and repeat. We can definitely do all that one, can't we? However, probably wine rather than beer for you, I'm guessing, with that one.
Yeah.
Has she questioned any other of your lifestyle choices? Because that's part of the fitness conversation.
Yes, she did, of course.
Oh, how did you respond to that? You remember when I told you I was giving up drinking for a year?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That's like the step that
were you dreading?
I never thought I was going to say this. This is like the next step I'm thinking of.
Seriously? This is such a morning of revelations.
Yes,
it's an emotional roller coaster ride. Here we are celebrating your birthday, and you're sharing this news. What else is going to be coming out of your mouth this morning? I think that's enough. That's quite enough. I'm sure.
Yeah, that's enough.
There's an awkward there's an awkward atmosphere of shock, possibly outrage.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. I like to drink wine when I'm around people. Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm around people all the time. I'm having dinners and parties, and I'm invited to these events all the time.
Yeah, tricky, isn't it?
So then I think, okay, I'm getting older. Maybe this alcohol is running inside my body. Maybe this is not good for me. And now I've been drinking much, much less. Only one glass or two in the weekends. And I actually feel much more focused on my work.
That's incredible, isn't it? I mean, who'd have thought it? James only just managed to get back into his chair and he's fallen out again. Like the seafood diet, you see wine and you have to drink it, or the seafood and you have to eat it. Well, on that note, it is actually 10 o'clock now, and we could sit here chatting and giggling all day, but there are other people who you've got to go and see and chat and giggle with and receive cake from, and beijinhos and abraços all day long and all week long by the sound of it, right through until Sunday. Thank you, Gilda, for starting your birthday special day with us, you crazy old Sagittarian. Not so much of the old, thank you very much. Merely 44, and at that wonderful halfway point where you shared some amazing things with us.
Yes, I think, honestly, I'm very excited about this 44.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm really excited. I think it's going to be, I don't know, amazing.
Yeah, that's the way to put. That is the way to do it. As Em was saying, think it and it would be so.
I don't say this only because I feel it. I say this because I worked a lot in the past 3 months with this thing of starting the exercise, of being more focused with work, or of making my strategy on where I want to go, what I want to achieve. That it was like 3 months focused on preparing what I want to do for the next year. So I think if I achieve the things that I've planned for, it's going to be an amazing year.
Wonderful. And maybe that you lead workshops and you know, do your own TED talk, teaching others how to do this, how to live an incredible life in this way. Keep on doing what you're doing, Gilda. Been fantastic to talk to you this morning and celebrate your birthday with you. JMC only drinks 1 glass of wine, and we've made a new friend, I think, in JMC. Come back again, JMC. Only drink 1 glass of wine at a time. Yes, obviously, very good there. So, Gilda, should we go out with your music and party our way out of the studio this morning? Let's do that, shall we? A little bit of exercise. You can tell your trainer all about it, and do send her our best regards. We'd love it if you'd bring her along one day.
Okay. I will. She's an expat also, and she just arrived to Portugal.
Right. Wonderful. So, yeah, again, on behalf of the Gumpers and Expats Portugal, have a wonderful day today, and we'll see you in a couple of days' time, won't we? Have a great day. Lots of love to you. Abraços.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.